touch anything. Got everything just like I wanted.
It's kind of funny. This is where I started.
Right, yeah, he's gonna go.
That's going to be my water?
Yes.
There?
Hopefully I don't fall off of the stool. Yeah.
Where are these folks? Let's get going here.
Don't you have 2 minutes?
Hey, Annette, would you give one of those to Miley Jason? Thank you. You just give it to him. Just give it to him. Okay.
Okay, now here's the
You might want to start on the sides. Well, maybe the person who does the volunteer resource forms.
prayer before the oath. I agree. Actually, before every meeting.
We know you too, sir. All right. Jerry, let's go. Liz. Thank you. Let's go.
What's that? My stool.
Oh, hi! Milo. Happy New Year.
Indy, you need something to stand on? Yes. Maybe if you put your shoes on, you'd be a little taller. It's not working for you, is it?
Right up here, Jerry. It's all going right up here.
Mrs. Larrier, you're not gonna.
It's all going
Don't
right
move.
up here. Right up here. Miles away.
Oh, I see.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year, happy, healthy 2014. I'm going to call the meeting of the Maplewood Township Committee to order, and we'll start with our opening words. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is to state, for the record, that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board in the municipal building, by the mailing of the annual notice of regular meetings for 2014 to the News Record Star Ledger in December 2013, and by filing said notice of the office of the Township Clerk. Mr. Brownlee?
Here.
Mr. DeLuca?
Here.
Mrs. Larrier?
Here.
Ms. Leventhal?
Here.
Mr. Ryan?
Here.
Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires that all meetings of public bodies be open to the public, and whereas Section 7 provides that the governing body has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting, and whereas desires this governing body to comply with the divisions of this Act, same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda active participation in the deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Would Maplewood Troop 5 Boy Scouts Color Guard please present the colors? Would you all please join me in the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Frickson, please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Here.
Mr. DeLuca?
Here.
Mrs. Larrier?
Here.
Ms. Leventhal?
Here.
Mr. Ryan?
Here.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Erica Philpott forward to sing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Ms. Philpott. At this time, I would like to invite Abdul Mubarak Rowe to come forward and grace us with the invocation.
All praise and true thanks to you, O God. Thank you, O God, for bringing us again to another year by your grace and by your mercy. I ask that you bless this august body of Sunday. I ask that you bless them with governance, wisdom of governance, which I ask that you bestow your peace and blessing upon the citizens.
And now would Maplewood Troop 5 please post the colors?
Everyone can sit down. It is a Maplewood tradition to dedicate each year's reorganization meeting to a group or organization. This year, the Township Committee has chosen to dedicate the meeting to the HK Project. And we have Amy Jo Curran, the Executive Director. Come on up. And is there anyone else with the HK Project with you, or you're carrying the load yourself? Okay. You've done so much. There's such an extensive resolution, but we'll be here all day. So I will abbreviate it some. Whereas the HK Project began its mission in 2009, its vision was to enhance the feeling of belonging and unity within our community by making the welfare of our community a common purpose among the members of the community. And whereas HK Project fostered a sense of belonging by encouraging residents to get involved, and the project assisted the needs of the community by providing a framework for public service, charity, education, arts, and cultural enrichment for the Maplewood South Orange area. And whereas the HK Project offered a $5,000 HK scholarship program to one high school senior to be used for undergraduate degree at a college of his or her choice, and more than $25,000 worth of scholarships have been awarded since HK's inception. And whereas HK Care Program, community assistance and resources for emergencies, grew fast in the past 3 years, was able to assist 7 families, raising close to $320,000 in assistance. The community not only donated money, but also assisted the families in any way possible. Truly, this was the most successful of all HK Project's programs. Whereas HK Project was the largest contributor to Maple Woodstock, providing funds and teenage volunteers, now therefore be it resolved by the Maplewood Township Committee assembled this first day of January 2014, and thanks and sincere appreciation be extended to the HK Project. Congratulations. And do you have some words? You get this, and you get put right close to it.
On behalf of HK Project, and especially Tom Kearns, I would like to thank you all for this special honor and say it was truly an honor to work in this town and community. Every family that was touched and every day we could do something to help was such a privilege. Thank you for recognizing it, and Happy New Year.
Wait till Saturday. Ms. Fritzen, would you please read the list of Maplewood citizens who were active in the community life who passed away in 2013?
2013 memorial list. Francis Moore, retired Maplewood Fire Chief. Irene Kaczynski, volunteer, Duran Hedenhouse Garden Club, Maplewood Servicemen's. Dennis Fessler, retired Maplewood DPW employee. Elizabeth Huberman, past president, League of Women Voters. Clyde Ronnie, retired Maplewood Fire Captain. William Chip Madsen, trustee, Community Coalition on Race, avid volunteer. Eleanor Ellie Gianni, volunteer, Rotarian, Y sponsor, longtime Maplewood business owner. Rabbi Jehiel Orenstein, Congregation Bethel. Enrique Ricky Fernandez, longtime chairman, Maplewood Service Organization, Maplewood VFW Post 10120. Ann Bogner, Maplewood Crossing Guard, current employee.
I'd like to ask Reverend Brenda Ellers, Associate Pastor, Morrow Memorial Methodist Church, to please come forward and give us the memorial prayer.
Please join me in prayer. Gracious God, we ask for a special blessing of courage and hope for those taking on new responsibilities, those with a new call to service. We gather here on this first day, looking forward to an exciting future, and as we do so, we acknowledge that much of our work is built on the work, love, creativity, energy, and caring of those who have served before us. Today, we remember and recognize the contributions of those who have kept us and our property safe from fire and went well beyond their call. Of one who cared for our historic spaces, gardens, and art with love and dedication. Of one who worked to ensure our voting rights, and others who took amazing care of our properties, our public spaces, and our buildings. Of one who worked for our community's diversity and equality with passion. One who helped out in so many areas and greeted us in town with the brightest smile when we shopped. One who carefully cared for our children walking to school. One who was dedicated to the care of his faith community, and another who cared for fellow veterans. Their commitment to this community, their love for its people, their dedication to bringing about a vision of hope is one that lives on in our hearts. We ask your blessing on these precious gifts. Help each of us to work as tirelessly, to care as deeply, and to do so with the commitment and skill of those we have named here today. Help us to honor their lives in our service. Help us to be guided by the forces of love and dedication and care that marked their work and lives. Give today's leaders confidence and strength. Be with them as they forge new relationships, new partnerships in service to this community. Give them peace for the journey and a passion for this town and its people. In all this, we ask you for your blessings. Amen.
Amen. Could have Erica Philpott come back up here, and she's accompanied by Art Gartenlaub on the piano.
Time past, time now, time in the future. There will always be heroes in our lives, those heroes that have gone on, never forgotten. Those who are here today, and for those who are to come, we will never forget. Just look beside you, around you, and within. A hero lies in you. Ooh, there's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There there's an answer. If you search within your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can't survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face a world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. Lord knows dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find a way. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can't survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. Thank you.
And Erica is from Maplewood, New Jersey. We'd like to recognize a few of our special friends who joined us today. Please recognize Assemblywoman Myla Jacey. She is someone who we always can count on. She always shows up to support our efforts. And we have three former members of the Township Committee. We have former Mayor Fred Perfetta, and we have two members who are in charge of Vice. We have Vice Mayor Noel Siegel and Vice Mayor Ian Grodman. We now call him Deputy Mayor. So, and from South Orange, we have Trustee Howard Levinson. Howard?
It's now the time in the meeting to administer the oath of office to the newly elected Township Committee member. Mr. Brownlee, would you join me in the front with your family? I will bear true faith, governments established authority of the people. I will faithfully, impartially and justly all the duties of the office of 2016. According to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
May peace be with each of you today and throughout the coming year. As I begin my second term, I want to first begin by giving thanks to the Maplewood Democratic Party for their endorsement, to those of you who helped on the campaign by making contributions, taking lawn signs, and spreading the word about the upcoming election. I'd also like to thank the wonderful township staff who I've had the pleasure to work with over the past 3 years. And I'd like to extend my additional thanks to my colleagues on the Maplewood Township Committee, Jerry Ryan, India Larrier, Deputy Mayor Kathy Leventhal, and Mayor Vic DeLuca. I look forward to continuing to work with all of you. I must also give thanks and express my love for my good friends and my family, some of whom are here today, and most especially to my wife, Shenyang, and our 2 children, Marcus and Simone. Thank you all for your love, support, and encouragement. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the 24,000 residents of Maplewood, for entrusting me with the opportunity to serve you for the next 3 years. When I was first sworn into office 3 years ago, I remarked that during the campaign I enjoyed hearing about how much you love Maplewood. The people, the houses, the sense of community. So many different kinds of people, different ages, different races, different religions. So much socioeconomic diversity, lifestyle diversity. And you said that in many ways you believe that you are truly living the American dream here in our little town. I've also noted that as we go about our daily lives, walking down the street, bringing our children to the bus stop or bringing them to school, driving to the store, having lunch, walking in the park on a weekend, gathering with friends in town for an evening of fun, we usually don't give much thought to the underlying circumstances that make those things possible. The paved roads, the streetlights, the cut green grass in the park, unless something goes wrong, of course. Then we notice it, the bumpy road that needs repaving or the streetlight that is out. There was an interesting article in the New York Times earlier this month titled "The Stem and the Flower." In it, the author writes, "Government is the hard work of creating a background order, but it is not the main substance of life. Government is essential, but to switch metaphors ridiculously, it's the stem of the flower, not the bloom. The best government is boring, gradual, and orderly. It's steady reform, not exciting transformation. It's keeping the peace and promoting justice and creating a background setting for mobility, but it doesn't deliver meaning. In other words, if we do our jobs well, oftentimes you don't even notice." I've never been the kind of person who sought public accolades for the things that I've done. It's just not in my nature. In some ways, that was a challenge for me as I sought re-election, because in order to get re-elected, I needed to give you a reason to vote for me. What have you done, and what are you going to do? As chair of the Public Safety Committee, I've met with the police chief and fire chief regularly and discussed how best to ensure that all of us can come and go and do what we want to do in Maplewood and know that our safety is being protected. When incidents occur and people are understandably concerned, I've met with you, and we've devised and implemented measures to address those concerns. And when things have quieted down, I don't hear as much. I don't hear that things are going well, but that's good. As chair of the Communications Committee, I've worked to find ways for all residents of Maplewood to feel a sense of belonging, to know that we belong to a community of friends and neighbors, and that the various departments of the township are truly partners in this community we live in. For example, I founded the Maplewood Community Action Program earlier this year, bringing together the heads of different neighborhood associations around town. In these meetings, these neighborhood leaders meet directly with the police chief and representatives of the township departments, for example, the Recreation Department and Department of Public Works, to learn about the programs that they do and to give them feedback as well. And just this past September, I spearheaded the launch of Maplewood's first mobile app, giving you the ability to use your smartphones to access township information. Think back to Superstorm Sandy. For many of us, our cell phones were the only thing working, and we'd flock to the library or one of the few other areas that had power and recharge them there. Hopefully nothing like that will happen to us again, but if it does, this will provide a way for the township to communicate with you the latest news and updates. Now, while that was an extraordinary situation, the everyday reality is the same. Residents with smartphones and tablets can just access township information easily and simply by using this app. Indeed, at last count, the app is downloaded over 1,350 times in the last 3 months. So what was once extraordinary is now just a part of our everyday life, something we can just use without giving it a second thought. Now, I cite these things not to seek public acclaim, but just as examples of the government work that we do, the unexciting but necessary stem of the flower, if you will, that is needed for each of us to fully bloom in our everyday lives. Listen to these words by Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. She says, "There is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody. You built a factory out there? Good for you. But I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for. You hired workers the rest of us paid to educate. You're safe in your factory because of police forces and fire forces that the rest of us paid for. You didn't have to worry that marauding bands would come in and seize everything in your factory. Now look, you built a factory and it turned into something terrific or a great idea. God bless. Keep a big hunk of it. But part of the underlying social contract is that you take a hunk of that and pay forward to the next kid who comes along. My commitment to you here today is that I'm going to continue doing the background work, the quiet work, what some will call the thankless work that must be done in order for us, all of us, to fully live our lives. And I understand that if I do my job well, many of you won't even notice, and that's fine. In closing, I just want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for coming here today. I look forward to continuing to work with you and moving our wonderful community forward, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to serve you for the next 3 years. Thank you again, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Members of the Township Committee, I now call for nomination for Chair of the Maplewood Township Committee for the year 2014.
I nominate Victor DeLuca.
Pleased to second the nomination of Victor DeLuca.
Are there any other nominations for Chair of the Maplewood Township Committee for the year 2014?
I move the nominations be closed.
I second the motion.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
I declare Victor DeLuca duly elected Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2014.
That always seems so weird.
It's a clerk thing.
Well, thank you very much. And Happy New Year, everyone. Congratulations, Marlon, on the first day of your second term. I am sure that you will continue to accomplish the great things you've been doing over the next 1,095 days in office. And thank you to my colleagues for electing me for mayor for my 9th year. We work well together as a team, sometimes agreeing, other times expressing our differences. But in the end, we make decisions that we believe are in the best interest of the 24,000 residents of our community. And for the community, I'm happy to report that the state of Maplewood is outstanding. We continue to be an attractive, safe, and welcoming community to which people are choosing to move, to invest, and to open up businesses. In the first 11 months of 2013, there were 291 homes sold in town. On average, these homes were on the market for less than 2 months, and the average sale price was over $494,000, representing almost 99% of the final list price. The Maplewood Building Department reports that last year we had over $20 million worth of construction work done in town, with nearly 200 building permits issued. The vacancy rate in our major commercial districts is in the single digits, and we get calls weekly from business people wanting to come to Maplewood. The Maplewood brand remains strong, and our reputation throughout the state is very positive. So let's look back at 2013. Thankfully, we had no hurricanes, Halloween storms, earthquakes, or days without electricity or water. But we were prepared for the worst. A generator was installed back here at Town Hall so that critical government functions can continue. Another generator was installed at our emergency shelter at the community center in DeHart Park so that those in need can find lights, heat, cooling, and comfort. It was a year, 2013, a year for Maplewood to be recognized. We were congratulated as one of only 66 municipalities in the state to have passed a complete streets policy, enabling safe access for all users, including pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorists. Under Deputy Mayor Kathy Leventhal's guidance, Maplewood received silver certification from Sustainable Jersey, the highest level attainable, and a certification only 21 other New Jersey municipalities have achieved. Our retail recruitment campaign, Amazing Opportunities in Maplewood, won a certificate for special recognition for innovative programs from the New Jersey League of Municipalities. And I want to thank Annette De Palma, our Director of Community Relations, for her work on this. It was also a year for surprises. We bought the Women's Club. Last year at this time, we had no idea that the planned sale of the building to a private party would fall through. With the building back on the market, the Township Committee analyzed the situation and decided purchasing 1 acre of land in our downtown was something we could not pass up. So for $1 million, we bought the property. We immediately created 51 new public parking spaces and retained a building with a rich history of community events and programs. Later this month, you'll hear more about plans to create a partnership with local civic groups to operate the facility for the public. And in upcoming months, the Township Committee will be designating the building as an historic site. Perhaps the biggest surprise in 2013 was marriage equality. First, it was the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court that portions of the Defense of Marriage Act were unconstitutional. We celebrated that day with a rally on the steps of Town Hall. Then New Jersey Judge Mary Jacobson ruled that same-sex marriage would be allowed starting on October 21st. And again, we were in the forefront, sponsoring Marriage Equality Day in Maplewood, during which marriages were performed from noon through the evening. It was an exciting day for me personally and for our town to be part of this historic event. Our actions that day showed once again what an inclusive community Maplewood truly is. I want to thank Township Clerk Elizabeth Fritzen and Deputy Clerk Sonia Harrison for their extraordinary efforts leading up to and on that day. On the economic development front, we were very busy. The Township Committee adopted 2 redevelopment plans, one for the post office property on Maplewood Avenue and the other for the former Public Service Electric and Gas property on Boyden Avenue. On January 7th, the Township Committee will consider designating L&M Garden State Associates as the redeveloper for the post office site and Park Place as the redeveloper for the PSE&G site. We expect work to start by the summer on both properties. This month, the Planning Board will review the site plan for a new CVS on Valley Street at the former A&P Supermarket. And there are new stores set to open on Springfield Avenue. The first 63 apartments at Maplewood Crossing on Burnett Avenue are fully rented, and the second phase of 63 units is due to open in the spring. In 2014, we will focus energies on Irvington Avenue. I'm happy to report that we received a major grant from Together North Jersey to develop an action plan to revitalize the Irvington Avenue area into a safer, more cohesive, and desirable neighborhood in which to live, shop, and own a business. We will be working on this initiative with area merchants, residents, schools, and the Maplewood Chamber of Commerce. Irvington Avenue has unique challenges and unique opportunities, and we finally will be able to direct financial resources to the area. As Mr. Brownlee alluded to, public safety is a primary concern of the Township Committee. We know that residents, business owners, shoppers, and visitors must feel safe and secure in our community. Under the leadership of Chief Semino, our police department is doing a great job. Last year, I'm happy to report that we had a 5.5% decrease from 2012 in the 8 major crime categories. Burglaries, a growing problem in 2012 to which we responded with extra attention, were down a whopping 19% in 2013. Unfortunately, the number of robberies and car thefts increased. And in response, the Township Committee's Public Safety Committee authorized the chief to use overtime to initiate extra high-profile police details, including checkpoints and engagement with pedestrians in areas where robberies occurred. This enhanced enforcement program is designed to provide a visible deterrent to criminals and to restore a sense of security in our community. In 2004, we will continue with these efforts, including deploying police officers in proactive ways to address spikes in criminal activities. Now, civilians also have a role in keeping our community safe. Township Committee members Marlon Brownlee and India Larrier organized the Maplewood Community Action Program to bring together neighborhood leaders from throughout the town to share ideas and strategies on how to maintain a high quality of life in our community. MCAP is a partner with the police department, and there is plenty of room for other neighborhoods to get on board. Now, we also need to get on board with getting illegal guns off our streets. Last year in Maplewood, firearms were used in 17 crimes, and that's up from 13 in 2012. Our neighbor Newark had what the Star Ledger reported today as the most violent 12-month stretch in nearly a quarter century. There were 111 murders in 2013, Newark's highest since 1990. And nationally, gun homicides are the leading cause of death among black teens. Children's Defense Fund reports that young black males die from gun violence at a rate 2.5 times higher than Latino males and 8 times higher than white males. I believe it is time as a society that we say enough is enough. And I will continue my work with Mayors Against Illegal Guns to get common sense legislation passed to better regulate the sale of firearms and ammunition. And the Township Committee passed a resolution this year, or 2013, calling on Congress to act. You know, we can't just talk about the rights of gun owners and not address the rights of all of us to live without fear of being the next victim. We accomplished a great more in 2013. As Mr. Brownlee said, the township launched a mobile app. The library joined a 75 library North Jersey consortium, which will give our users access to more than 5 million library items. And the fire department fought close to 90 fires and responded to over 1,200 emergency medical incidents. We opened the swimming pool earlier and began construction on the long-awaited Ridgewood Road Drainage Improvement Project. You know, for a while, shared services were the buzzwords among municipalities, and Maplewood has been a leader there too. We have over a dozen service agreements with South Orange, Irvington, Milburn, Springfield, and the Board of Education, and we're about to create a couple more. In fact, Sustainable Jersey gave us a 2013 collaborative award for the work our green team is doing with the teams in Milburn and South Orange to address sustainability issues on a regional scale. If there is a way in which we can save money or provide better or more efficient services, we will pursue opportunities to share. Now, none of this, what I've talked about so far, could have been accomplished without strong leadership. And Township Business Administrator Joseph Manning is that leader. He is a professional who was recently recognized by his peers in public administration. And Joe, if you would stand, we want to thank you for your service to our community. The Township Committee relies on two other key people, Township Attorney Roger Desiderio and Township Clerk Elizabeth Fritzen. I can tell you, without them, we would be hurting pretty bad. And I spoke about the police. We have a lot of police officers here, so if the police officers would stand, we'd like to thank you for your service. And I want to recognize all the other department heads and township employees for what you do. This terrific job of serving the people of Maplewood, and if you would all stand. So enough looking in the rearview mirror. Let's talk about 2014. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be moving ahead with the new developments at the post office, the most important site in town. And we'll also be moving ahead with the former PSE&G property redevelopment. Over the next few months, there will be plenty of opportunity for the community to weigh in on site plans and building designs. The next 6 months will be time for constructive input, and we welcome your participation. We need to make our streets safer for pedestrians. I hear many complaints about cars that do not stop at identified crosswalks. Even my wife is on my case about this. We will be looking at new technology that will make crosswalks clearer. We'll also remind drivers that state law requires them to stop, and we'll continue with our enforcement efforts so that drivers finally get the message. Culture is critical to our community, and we will ratchet up our job of promoting the arts. Under the leadership of Township Committeeman Jerry Ryan and the Department of Recreation and Cultural Affairs, we will create a comprehensive plan for arts offerings and promotion. We will also work with the Maplewood Village Alliance and the Springfield Avenue Partnership to integrate arts with the business community, sponsoring cross-promotional activities that benefit all parties. And we hope to coordinate our local events with statewide activities in honor of New Jersey's 350th birthday. And we will promote Maplewood as a festival town. We already have a slew of outdoor activities, including Green Day, Mayfest, the Memorial Day Parade, the Duck Race, July 4th, Maple Woodstock, Harvest Fest, Maplewood Loves Wellness, Village Art Walk, and the community band concerts. We will coordinate these and other events and promote the town as a place for festivals and fun. Maplewood is just 4 square miles, and it is critical that people who live in all parts of town feel connected as one community. In 2014, we will continue our efforts to involve all of Maplewood's people. In particular, we will reach out to those who are foreign-born and households where English is a second language. Our health department and library are doing some interesting work in this area, and we want to see it expanded throughout township government. Now, I thought I might get away without speaking about the high property taxes in town. Not likely. Unfortunately, there's little likelihood that Governor Christie will restructure taxes in this state to reduce the dependency on the property tax. So we are virtually on our own without a lot of options. Nevertheless, the Township Committee takes its responsibility as a financial steward very seriously. In 2009, we reduced the municipal workforce by nearly 10%. In the last 3 municipal budgets, the average property tax increase was a real 2% per year increase without any budget exclusions. We'll be meeting this Saturday at 9 a.m., the start of our January budget meetings, to discuss the 2014 budget. And I can assure you that high taxes are on the minds of all 5 of us up here. Now, many of you are volunteers with the township or in the community. We thank each of you for your contribution to civic life and for making our community the best it can be. We appreciate the time you take from your personal life to contribute to the betterment of all. Please stay involved and active. And if you have not had a chance yet to volunteer, there's still time for you to join up. I'm excited about the future of Maplewood. I hope you are too. Thank you very much, and have a Happy New Year. Members of the Township Committee, I now call for nominations for Deputy Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2014.
Mr. Chair, I nominate Kathleen M. Leventhal.
I second the nomination of Kathleen M. Leventhal.
I'll move that the nominations be closed.
I second the motion. Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. I now declare Kathleen M. Leventhal duly elected Deputy Chair for the Township Committee for the year 2014. Congratulations. Before we get into the resolutions, I want to let you know that we received this morning a letter from Governor Christie saying that he's pleased to extend his greetings to everyone gathered for today's reorganization meeting and regret that he's unable to attend. And he congratulates the mayor and township committee members and wish them success in carrying out the responsibilities of our offices. And he says, the success and longevity of Maplewood is testimony to the leadership provided by its government officials throughout the years. As governor, I look forward to a new year of working with the mayor and township committee as we continue toward our goals of reform and prosperity for the state of New Jersey and its residents. Best wishes for a successful and productive meeting, and a very happy new year to all. Chris Christie, Governor. We now have Resolution 1-14.
Yes, Mayor, read by title. Resolution adopting the bylaws of the Township of Maplewood.
Mr. Chair, I move the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. Now we have a slew of appointments here, and I'll read them. Township Administrator Joseph Manning. Assistant Township Administrator Cesar Carrera. Township Attorney Roger J. Desiderio. Public Defender Dennis Cleary. Public Defender B. John Kaufman. Court Administrator Ryan Bancroft. Registrar of Vital Statistics Elizabeth J. Fritzen. Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics Sonia Harrison. Director of Recreation and Cultural Affairs Keith Knudsen. Plumbing Subcode Official Joseph Larica. Electrical Subcode Official Stanley Fagerty. Tax Searcher Peter N. Frizzalone. Custodian of Township Records Elizabeth J. Fritzen. Deputy Custodian of Township Records Chief Robert Semino. Deputy Custodian of Township Records Chief Michael Dinglestat. Certifying Agent Pension Fund Peter N. Frizzalone. Fire Official Deputy Chief Carl Kling. American Disability Act Coordinator Robert J. Mittermeier. Township Engineer Thomas Malavasi. Health Officer Robert Rowe. Board of Health for a 3-year term Marlon K. Brownlee. Construction Code Official Robert J. Mittermeier. Office of Emergency Management Deputy Coordinator Chief Robert J. Semino. Office of Emergency Management Deputy Coordinator Chief Michael Dinglestat. Director of Public Works Eric Burbank. Qualifying Purchasing Agent Joseph Manning. Is there a motion to confirm the appointments?
Mr. Mayor, I move the motion.
I second the motion.
Please call the roll. It's been moved and seconded.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. We have a Resolution 2-14.
This Mayor read by title, Resolution Number 2-14, appointing Municipal Prosecutor Annette De Palma and Assistant Municipal Prosecutor Sherelle C. Tolar.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you.
Members of the Township Committee, I now call for nomination for the Township of Maplewood representative to the joint meeting of Essex and Union Counties for the year 2014.
I nominate Kathy M. Leventhal.
I second the nomination of Kathleen M. Leventhal.
I move the nominations be closed.
I second that motion.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you.
I declare Kathleen M. Leventhal duly elected Maplewood representative to the joint meeting of Essex and Union Counties for the year 2014.
Members of the Township Committee, it is necessary at this time to elect 3 members and 1 alternate to represent the Township on the Board of School Estimate for the School District of South Orange and Maplewood in accordance with Chapter 232 of the laws of 1953. I now call for nominations.
Mr. Mayor, I nominate Victor DeLuca. Kathleen M. Leventhal, Marlon K. Brownlee to represent the township on the Board of School Estimate, with Gerard R. Ryan as the alternate.
I second that motion.
I move that nominations be closed.
I second that motion.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, I declare Victor DeLuca, Kathleen M. Leventhal, and Marlon K. Brownlee, and Gerard W. Ryan as the alternate, the duly elected members of the Board of School Estimate for the year 2014. We have a motion on consent agenda.
I move the motion.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. This is the portion of the meeting where we invite anyone from the public to come up and address the Township Committee. Is there anyone who would like to do so? Please just give us your name and address.
Hello, everybody. My name is John Kaufman. It's very cold out, it's very snowy, and I hope that in comparison to all the other serious business that goes on at this reorganization meeting, talking about the 4th of July community art project won't be considered frivolous. It's going, once again, we're going to do the 4th of July art project that's sponsored by the 4th of July Committee of the DSW in 1978. Now, last year we did, as you, I hope know, and I hope those people out there, if you're watching, we did a project based upon squares. And the year before that, we did a project based upon hoops. This is something I think about all the time. I guess you might imagine that I do that. So some people have said to me, maybe you should do triangles this year. But I think, and this is 2014, and we are a society which, as is apparent from some of the stuff that we heard earlier, is just terribly involved with computers and the internet and really the speed of light technology. And I as an artist, get hung up on speed of light technology. And I'll just say, if you think about it, not that long ago, we were a society that was somewhat tied to the speed of sound, which is 670, 700 miles an hour. And now we're working on something that moves 186,000 miles per second. And that is, for me, I just, drives me like crazy. Anyhow, that leads me to think about pixels. And so what I've decided, at least to a certain level, is that this year the art project will kind of abandon geometry, much as we abandon analog kind of stuff, and we're going to do something that's digital, and that is pixels. And so my suggestion is that this year, as we put things around town, and hopefully people will participate as they have in the past, we'll be thinking about pixels. And we'll be thinking about one image that we will put on where we put the project last year, on the backstops, that thing. So that leads me to thinking, well, how many pixels and what's the image? So now I get to the fact that this is 2014, which is 1/1/14, which is almost code-like if you think about it. And so I start looking at the 14, and I see that 14 is the product of 2 times 7. So I'm proposing that we have a meeting on February 7th, which is a Friday, and we begin a community-wide consideration of what our project might look like on July 4th, which, by the way, if you count 21 weeks from February 7th, you come to July 4th. So if you think about a matrix kind of second, we got 2, 7, 7, 4. So what I plan is that we will bring our pixels down to the field starting on July 2nd. So now our matrix is 2, 7, 7, 2, 4. So that's it. And,
John, why don't you save a little bit for the meeting?
Believe me, Vic, I am, and I invite you. Hopefully, we'll have representatives from every one of the, I think, 12 districts in this town participating. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the Township Committee?
Happy New Year. I've lost
Happy New
my
Year.
voice, and I was debating on whether to come up. But I'd like to thank the Township Committee for another great year. On behalf of the Maplewood Rotary Club, we'd like to thank them for use of the pool. And speaking to the community, we'd like to thank the community for their support every year. I'd also like to put a shout out to all the service clubs in our community, which do so much for so many. So we're open for membership, the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, the Kiwanis, and just come by and give us a shout. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the Township Committee? Seeing no one, we will close that portion of the meeting, and I'll ask you all to stand. And I'll ask Erica and Art to come back up for God Bless America. And just remain standing throughout the rest of the proceedings.
I just want to say Happy New Year. God bless you all, and God bless America. And feel free to sing along. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And if we could have Abdul Mubarak come up for our benediction.
First of all, let's say Happy New Year to everyone. 2014, let's go out and make this a great, great year as we've done in previous years. Now may the grace of Almighty God be with you, His angels, and His peace be upon you, both now and forevermore.
And would Maplewood Troop 5 Boy Scouts Color Guard please retire the colors? And can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming. The meeting's adjourned, and the Township Committee will meet again on Tuesday, January 7th, 2014, at 7:30 p.m. And we have some refreshments in the lobby. Please stick around and celebrate the new year. Thank you very much for coming.